Welcome to the 200th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. We will never stop discussing. 200 episodes. We're unstoppable.
We did it.
People said it was impossible. The haters are furious. The fans are frothing for more. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle Executive Editor Eric Schwartz and Chronicle photojournalist Kody Christen. And we're joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. So, how you guys feeling after 200 episodes?
Well, Aaron, in the fourth grade, our teacher asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up, and I said, I want to be a podcaster for a newspaper. And she laughed at me and said, you'll end up in jail if you try that, Eric. And look at me now.
You've done both.
200 episodes in.
Yeah, you know, we started this as just kind of something to fart around with during the pandemic.
You mean service our egos.
And here we are. Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've only been here for probably about 30 of these, but I'll be first to take the glory of the 200 right with you guys.
Fun
You
fact,
did it.
Cody wasn't even born when we had our first episode of this way back in 2020.
That's true. Cody is 3.5 years old. People don't realize that. You know, he looks much older.
I
Mature.
get that a lot, yeah.
You would have been, though, like in what, 9th grade, 10th grade.
2020, I was a sophomore in high school.
You had a very bad time in high school, didn't you?
I had a terrible high school. Well, high school's fun, but COVID really threw a wrench in things there, man.
Did you get bullied? Oh, he's crying now. I'm sorry. Yeah, bullied by that baseball team. Can't remember what the name of it was, though.
Yeah. Schwartz, you're back from vacation. How was it? You were, if I'm correct, you were at the Schwartz family villa.
Yes.
That you've owned for like 80 years, and it's in Argentina. Is that correct?
That's incorrect. Incorrect.
I don't know.
No. 9.
How was your vacation?
It was good. Just went down to the Oregon coast, as I told you. The highlight was we found a dead sea lion. Poked it with sticks a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Stunk really bad.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You saw that dead sea lion where you're like, it's a good start.
Yeah. Yep.
That's something the kids will never forget.
You know, I didn't think about that when I was down there, but yeah, you know, one less of them.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, my kids were quite sad about it. Was not sad at all. It was just very sad.
Not you, though. You were like, you know...
I should have cut its belly open and hauled all the salmon back to the basin.
Ecologically, this is actually a good thing, children.
If Aaron was on that beach, he just would have been like, yes!
He'd be sad. He loves the sea lions.
Did you guys survive the great power outage of Sunday morning? My key card went missing in it.
I have a new key card for you, by the way.
Oh, good.
The fixer dropped by today and said, don't ask questions, and set it on my desk.
Frankie, baby?
Yes, it was Franklin.
Oh, good.
Can I get a new key card?
Do you have a card or do you have the keychain?
I have a card, and I want the keychain.
I see. I have the card, and I want to keep my card.
Yeah, I like the card.
Yeah, card's classier. I mean, everyone knows you haven't been here very long when they see the keychain, which is what you have now. It's the keychain.
Ah.
We're out of cards, man. Too many OGs around here.
Well, no, they gave me a card because I lost my keychain.
Well, you guys have both lost your keys. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Security of this building. We'll be lucky to make it to 201.
The Chronicle enemies are probably finding those keys right now and plotting their revenge on you.
Come up here and steal our podcasting equipment. Probably the coal from Old Man Transalta and our trophies that we got.
Yeah.
Probably in those cabinets right now.
Probably.
Listening and plotting.
Things
Cody
have mysteriously gone missing in this room before.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like my bottle of whiskey.
Your beverages?
Cody, you shot the Pacific County Fair last week.
I did.
How was it?
It was a lot of fun, you know. It's classic Pacific County Fair.
Did you see
That's
anybody
not what
you
he
know?
said in the news meeting yesterday.
Okay, I thought I was going to be nice, but okay, I went early in the morning.
It was charming.
It was charming, yeah. It's a charming little fair, and the attendance was probably about 9 when I was there.
He was there in the morning, though.
I was there, I was there at like 10 in the morning because I went to a PWV football practice first. But yeah, I saw a couple of different people I know there.
Nice.
Out of the 9, probably knew 4.
Yeah, that's kind of how that fair goes, man.
The other 5 were from Raymond.
Your photos were good, though. They looked
Thank
festive.
you.
You
Yeah.
got the cows.
I did get there during the youngest division of the livestock handlers were showing their calves, and they asked them questions and the cows' names. It was great.
Yeah, that's always good stuff.
Did you still misspell the names?
Probably, yeah.
Just asking. I'm just joking, Cody. You did good work. Everybody did good while I was gone. I've been bragging about everybody.
Yeah,
Which goes back to that Michael Wagar advice, former editor here. Remember he used to say, how well things go when you're gone tell how good you are at your job. So I am very good at my job based on the outcomes.
Yeah. You've done a great job of teaching everybody else how to manage without you here.
No.
It's also not what you said at the news meeting on Monday.
Well, I said everybody did a good job except for you, Cody.
Yeah.
And then he insulted my haircut.
No, I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
I didn't insult it. I was like, you know what? I was about to compliment your haircut, but never mind. Because
why are you looking at my hair like that?
Just thought you had a hat on before.
Jeez.
I know. He walked past me without a hat on. I just didn't know how to feel.
I got too comfortable during the pandemic wearing a hat.
Yeah.
It's hard to shake when you don't have to do anything to your hair in the morning.
Well,
did you get a new haircut, Aaron?
Trying to restart though.
No, I got mine cut a couple weeks ago.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I usually do. I usually get it cut on Wednesdays.
Every Wednesday?
No, like every 2 or 3 Wednesdays, probably.
Okay.
You guys want to do some news items?
Anyway, what's happening in the news?
We got a news item. Schwartz, do you want to read this first one?
Oh, boy. I'm reading this. Sanctuary saves 120 birds in state's largest cockfighting rescue. I guess this means my locker room hazing experience at Forks High School before the gym teacher was fired is now second on the list. You mean to tell me we could have been gambling on cockfighting this whole time? Written by Aaron. You're welcome. Hope you're happy.
I am. All right, you guys want to
Very
discuss
serious
that,
cockfighting matter. An Indian story that you've made light of here. Innocent cocks were injured.
Taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Grow up, Aaron.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Next item. Southwest Washington Fair organizers say fair they organized was best fair in recent memory.
Best fair ever.
More than 88,000 people attended the Southwest Washington Fair during its 6-day run last week, which represented the highest admission into the fair, quote, in recent memory, according to Lewis County Parks and Recreation Minister B.J. Kuykendall. And we actually have a clip of him discussing this.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
Wow, that's surprising.
You know, regardless of your politics, that was probably the funniest moment for me in the last, 5 years of watching television.
Spicer just rolling out there in an ill-fitting suit and lying.
He came out there with the energy of, a WWE wrestler running down the ramp as his, just started laying into the Lion media.
What did he do that got him fired?
I don't remember.
They went through so many of those back then.
But you said best in recent history. However, Lewis County manager Ryan Barrett said Tuesday preliminary numbers indicate this was the most well-attended fair in recorded history.
Wow.
Notice he didn't say Southwest Washington Fair.
The biggest fair ever.
The largest in recorded history.
Move over, World's Fair.
Yeah, please do. It was a good fair, though.
Yeah. I got to go, guys.
All right, you go get them.
Thanks, Cody. Thanks for everything you do.
Yes. It's good to be here for episode 200, and I'll be here for episode
201, don't promise.
201, yeah. I was going to say 300, but who knows?
The third host doesn't last very long. I don't know who the longest seated third host was. Probably Isabel or Jared.
Yeah, Isabel showed up at episode 70, probably.
She was there for the Hyundai.
Yeah.
You're off mic now, Cody. Just go.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Cody's off to a Lewis County Fire District 6 meeting.
See you, Cody. Love you, Cody.
Fired, maybe resigned chief. He slammed that door.
Yeah, let's just move on to that one. Cody's going to a meeting about this. This is...
I don't want to wax...
We'll get back to it.
Fair.
Lewis County Fire District 6 chief out after less than a year. Cody was telling me before we started that he was a pretty nice guy. This is Chief Paul Patterson. The events that led up to his departure remain murky. He either resigned under duress or was fired, or maybe was told he should resign or be fired after he asked for a pay raise to pay him what everyone else is getting. Can everyone just stop firing their fire chiefs? I mean, I know that fire season is coming to an end, hopefully.
Yeah, wrapping up the season.
But still, what just keep one on staff. What's the big issue here?
Yeah, I don't want to get too out over my skis on this one because Mitchell did interview Paul Patterson today, reporter Mitchell Rowland, and he's working on a follow-up that hopefully answers some of the questions. But what you said is pretty much the situation. He has, at different points, said he was terminated and that he resigned. I think the fire commissioner Mitchell talked to yesterday was pretty solid on the resign front and that it wasn't a firing, but hopefully we'll get some answers. And that's where Kody was going. They have a meeting this evening where we assume that might come up, and we'll see. But yeah, as far as our interactions with Chief Patterson, they were all positive. Obviously, that doesn't say anything about day-to-day stuff, but pick up the Thursday edition of the Chronicle and we'll have a lot more to say on the matter from records and the interview.
All right, next news item. State auditor City of Morton lost nearly $1 million over a decade.
Just wild.
Lost $1 million in the 2010s. What was this, a newspaper?
Hey-o. Yeah, we're actually very profitable.
Morton cracked
the future is bright.
The future is bright, yes. Morton cracked open its wallet and realized it was missing a cool $1 million. Tammy Clevenger, the city's clerk/treasurer. Former clerk/treasurer, misappropriated more than $900,000 in public funds over about a decade. The auditor's office released this report along after plenty of warning signs were out there, like $10,000 in ATM withdrawals. Why would a city need that much cash? From the auditor, State Auditor Pat McCarthy said in a press release, "What is so incredible in this case is that the leadership of Morton took no action when they had been informed of two different problems with the clerk treasurer. We say trust but verify for a reason. Blind trust doesn't protect the public's money. Proper controls do." I get the feeling the auditor doesn't like throwing a quote in his press releases, but this certainly called for it.
Oh, yes, a politician would really hate to have their voice in a news article.
I just don't think I've seen an auditor like this. There are plenty of state.
This one we get news releases from the auditor's office all the time. They'll do findings. We get an email. I think it might be automated that says, here's our latest ones. You click on it and you go look at the links. This one got a very special email with the whole press release in the body of the text. But because it looked different, I did poke around a little just to make sure it was real, and because it was so unbelievable, as far as the allegations. But yeah, pretty wild. The city put out a statement after the version of the story you posted here. We have it on our website, chronline.com. The city knows the community places their trust in city employees who serve them, and that this is damaging to that relationship, the city said. They also said the former clerk treasurer will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And then we sent Owen Sexton out there to their council meeting last night, and he was able to talk to the mayor and the police chief, and we'll have a follow-up on that as well for Thursday's edition. Sounds like Ms. Clevenger is in a bit of legal trouble, and they are going to be getting some criminal charges. It seems like there's a lot of evidence.
Now, in case you were thinking, oh, well, at least this is another case of failed police chief Roger Morningstar shitting the city's pants, you're wrong. He was involved.
Yeah, in a separate fraud investigation report, auditors investigated concerns regarding credit card purchases by former Morton Police Chief Roger Morningstar, who resigned last year amid claims he lied about his background and sexually harassed staffers and others. He maintained access to a bank account that was outside the city's control for donations to police-related activities.
Wink, wink.
And they found he made $199 in personal purchases on a city credit card.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, stacked up with $900,000.
No, but at the same time, when I got that release, I was just like, they've got all these reports. Like, it's hundreds of pages. I was like, Morningstar's going to be in here somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't read very long before I got to it. And he was, in fact, in there. But yeah, $1 million almost is pretty wild. It's enough to get Drew Mickelson from King 5 down to Morton yesterday.
Yeah, he was actually out there on the streets.
Morton made the Seattle stations.
Next item, Republicans, quote, rally at the ranch in Toledo as attention turns to general election. This was at the Merton Ranch? Is that what it's called?
Gosh, this must be rough for you. You're just going to have to insult everyone.
This
brief time we have.
All the usual big hitters were there. Dave Reichert, Jim Walsh, Jamie Herrera Butler, Joe Kent. Jim Walsh told the approximately 200 attendees, I think word of mouth is the best way to change minds in business, in faith, and politics, he said. Nothing beats a person-to-person connection. That's right. Get out there and shout at a stranger. Do you know how many people Jim Walsh has personally convinced to vote for Republicans simply by accosting them on the transom of their own homes? 2. And one of them didn't even call the police.
That's not true. They both called.
Podcaster and former journalist Brandy Cruz, or as she's known to my co-host, Mommy, emceed the event.
How dare you.
And told the audience that talking to friends and neighbors would be critical in helping, quote, helping people find their why. You know, Brandy Cruz was moderating gubernatorial debates just 4 years ago. Now she's on stage with Jim Walsh in a barn in Toledo in front of a crowd of 200.
You know what?
I hope the check cleared for her.
Stop you right there, buddy. It's not a barn. It's a ranch. They were rallying at the ranch. It wasn't a barn bash. They would have told you if it was a barn bash.
There was a dirt floor.
It was a ranch.
Anyway, Look, not to disrespect
I thought it was
any
a
other
cool event
journalist.
for local Republicans.
Cool
they had
event.
all the big guys there. You listed some of them, but I believe they also had the OSPI candidate, I believe, was there, and a couple others. So if you're a local Republican, which is a majority of the voters around here, then this would be a cool stop for you.
Yeah. And 200 of them approximately were there.
Can I ask you this? Did Jim Walsh change your mind, Aaron?
I have never
had found your why?
I have not had him shout at me in person.
Well, do you think any of the Republicans will win this November?
GHB's got a shot.
Joe Kent's got a shot.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't see the... As far as like straight policy goes, I don't know how Joe Kent's going to overcome the fact that MGP got into office and has basically been, like the Republicans' dream Democrat.
Disaster? Yeah. I'm just joking. That's what the mailer said.
I don't think she's been a disaster. Like her big moves have been protecting. Everybody's like, she's a socialist. She literally owns a business.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay too much attention to the names. And Dave Reichert is also a socialist, according to a certain corner of the Republican Party.
Yeah,
Marxist.
Yes, but yeah, I don't know that she's done anything to really disqualify herself in the eyes of the Republicans that voted for her last time.
Yeah, we'll see.
I guess
we'll see. Yeah, I mean, when I said Republicans win, obviously I think like Jim Walsh, Peter Barno, Ed Orcutt and Braun don't have opponents. They'll win. More of those statewide things. I could see Jamie Herrera Butler potentially. We've got that recount going now. Jamie Herrera Butler and Dave Upthegrove. This is how it ended, but it was a 52-point spread. Right?
51.
With
and yeah, we were talking about
Peterson.
this other day, but why did they do a hand recount rather than, how is that more sound than a machine?
Why are the hands of our local auditor staff better than a machine? Do I really have to answer that question?
Well, I know our local auditor staff is phenomenal, but I mean, in general, like...
I think that's just how it is in statute, and so that's how it is. You trust the machines more, from what I gather. You were just saying before it started, you would like ChatGPT to do the hand count by itself with no oversight. No troublesome human oversight.
Look, man, machines are straight silver. They don't bleed red or blue. They bleed oil.
In our recount story, Mitchell did note that one of our last recounts we had was the Napavine Fire District, and before that, it was a fire levy. Before that, it was Candace Hallam and Diane Dorey for assessor.
Yeah.
And Candace Hallam picked up 6 votes on the recount. Didn't win, but picked up 6 votes. So they're,
Do you remember the guy wasn't it in Rainier? The guy ran for mayor and lost by 1 vote, and then he found out he voted for the other guy?
Well, he didn't vote for himself. He just didn't vote. Yeah.
Interesting.
You're asking if I was here for that? It was like a year ago.
No, I was just
I've been here 20 years.
Do you
Aaron.
remember it?
I've been at this podcast for 20 years.
Before it was a podcast, you were just up here shouting your takes.
I remember when this was a newspaper, so I've been around a while.
Yeah, that's true. Next item. Estate of Aron Christensen files a $3 million lawsuit accusing Tenino father and son of negligence. We all know the story by now. A young man took his dad's gun, walked into the woods at night, and shot someone to death. The sheriff's office then botched the investigation and dragged the body out of an uninvestigated crime scene before anyone noticed the bullet hole in the dead man's body or his dog's body. Meanwhile, a day or so later, Ethan Asbach's dad called the sheriff to tell him his kid shot someone up by Wallop Lake. Nobody was arrested. No charges were ever filed, despite the body, the admission, and the murder weapon, and the bullet, and the various medical reports that said this dead guy's death is directly related to the bullet in his body. What was filed was a lawsuit against the county for $20 million, and now this $3 million lawsuit against, the guy who shot him. Any thoughts?
You have my permission to soapbox. I see that here.
It's election season, and it's a great time to remember that none of the elected officials overseeing any of this shit gave a flying fuck about the family of a dead man who died in this county and had his murder botched by county employees. The sheriff didn't do a thing publicly. Did he do anything at all to hold anybody in his office accountable? Doesn't really look for it like it. He didn't talk about it. That kind of sounds like a big shrug to me. And people went to the county commissioners and asked them to do something, given they have financial responsibility over the county budget, including the sheriff's office. 2 of them are up for re-election. One of those 2 made a point to do nothing about any of that, but went on to wage war on the libraries, the YMCA, pronouns, Trey College, little old lady at the senior center, all of that. And none of that is nearly as damaging to the people of this county or their pocketbooks as shrugging off a botched murder investigation. Now, that all being said, there's zero chance a lawsuit against the county goes to court, because can you imagine throwing that pile of evidence and apathy in front of a jury with the option to tack on additional punitive damages? Buddy, they would need an oversized novelty check just to fit all the zeros. I think that will be settled for at least the 20. Maybe they'll just throw on an extra few million just maybe just to make it go away quicker.
Like you, I feel strongly on the Aron Christensen case, and I appreciate your ability to go on a soapbox like that. I won't call it a rant.
If Kody was still here,
statements like that,
Kody was still here, I was going to be like, Kody, can you hand me that soapbox? I've got some standing to do.
Push it over. We should have an actual soapbox in here that we stand on, and then everyone knows they have to be quiet.
Yeah, I would like that.
And just to be clear, this latest lawsuit is directly against the father and son.
Yes.
And like the other case, which I kind of agree with a lot of your points in terms of evidence and missteps and things like that, I can't imagine unless there's a real bad attorney in this case, like giving the underage guy the gun, telling him to take it, the kind of late reporting, the sleeping on it after a dead body. Even if you just saw a dead body, so I try to always give people the most benefit of the doubt, and maybe more facts will come out. I don't know. If I find a body in the woods, my first order of business is to report that body. I have found a body like that. I wouldn't be able to sleep on that. That's one of the things I find really weird is that they kind of just went off and maybe they got lost. I don't know. But yeah, so we'll see how those shake out.
Well, once all the facts from the thorough investigation come out, surely we'll have more answers from this murder that happened 2 years ago during the midst of a sheriff election.
I won't ever forget how this whole story started. If not for the fact that the Chronicle publishes death notices, we might never have known about this. A funeral home reported this guy died at Wallop Lake, and we were like, that's really weird. And then we had to ask for several weeks in order to get some sort of answer. And then finally take his photo and spread it across the front page and say, what happened?
Yeah.
Literally, what happened?
And it turns out
it was frustrating.
And it turns out he smoked some bad marijuana, and also he had a bad heart.
Yeah.
And the bullet didn't help.
I understand your strong feelings on this.
Anyway, thank you for allowing me to soapbox.
You're welcome. It is your birthday.
Let's see. Last news item I've got on here, Centralia Deputy Mayor announces resignation after moving. This is Cameron McGee. He has moved a few blocks away into the Edison district, I think, and now he is unable to hold his post as city councilor.
Man, I thought the previous house was in the Edison district.
I think they both are.
Oh.
Well, just like different parts of it.
I have seen
I'm not
some
positive.
make hay over the fact that there was an effort earlier this year to make it to where you could run for council position. I think leaving it unsaid would be untoward. They voted, I believe, 5-1 on first reading to make it to where you could run without a district. So you could all live anywhere in the city and run for the council. And they ended up backing off of that, but there was some conjecture online as to whether this had something to do with that.
He was actually on this very podcast discussing that with me while you were absent.
Without me?
Yeah, so I know. I'm sorry.
So my 200's an asterisk? You did the show without me?
And when he was on here, we talked about that idea, and I said it was bad because it reminds me of the football adage that if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one? Mm-hmm. If you have 5 city councilors representing you, you don't have one.
I could see that.
I want my vote to matter more.
I mean, as a Centralia man, and after all these years, I do consider myself a Centralia man. Never lived anywhere longer. I don't want an Edison District guy representing me, a Walsh Prairie man.
Yeah.
We're a grittier Centralian up there. Everybody knows that.
We should have somebody from the Walsh Prairie represent the Walsh
self-sufficient.
Prairie.
You have a garden.
Well, for now.
You've been fighting animals.
I've been fighting animals and Mother Nature.
We had a power outage.
Yeah. Everything's working against me and my crops.
It's hard up there on the Walsh, man.
Tomatoes are just dying on the vine out there.
I can't wait for your property to just get hit by locusts for no reason. They're nowhere else, just on your crops.
Why would God do this to me? I've been so supportive.
Truly, you are the Job of the Walsh Prairie.
Anything? Any
if
other news?
Job was godless. Sorry.
Thank you. Anything I've missed, or do you want to go to the ad?
Let's go to the ad, and we can do a run through Cronline later.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments now. First up, Tales from the Takes page. And our first column comes from your best friend, John Braun.
Oh, boy. This
titled, Here's Why Ferguson Stinks, Part 6 of 9.
He's had way more parts than that.
Alternate title, Ferguson, an American Nightmare, comma, Chapter 3. If you're a Kevin Costner fan. But he goes over the Wallet Hub list of, quote, best places to live, which, as I understand it, is the definitive ranking.
I once lost a reporter candidate, and I was glad to have lost him. I did a big push. It was this guy from Montana I had a lot of respect for. And we did a bunch of interviewing. You might have even been in on it. I don't know. And then he messaged me like 2 days after the offer, and he was like, hey, man, my mom found this Wallet Hub study that said Centralia's got a high crime problem, so I don't think I'm going to be able to come out there.
Damn.
I know. I was immediately just like, well, I think we're both happy with this arrangement. Softy.
So in this list in which Washington is 35th, Idaho is number 6, which is great if you're young and healthy and Mormon and not the type of person who likes books.
Oh, no. Idaho's great. Come on. You went to college in Idaho.
Yeah.
Inside that grocery store in
I
Idaho.
did.
Albertsons.
On this list, Washington is number 9 in quality of life and number 10 in economy. But dead last in safety, where New Jersey is number 1.
Quality of life and economy important to you?
Yeah. He criticizes Ferguson for a lot of things, including, I think he mentioned the price of housing in there or something.
I don't know. I was on vacation. Recall that I have not read this one.
Yeah. But anyway. And then he goes in on Bob Ferguson again for sending out checks the state won in a lawsuit against chicken and tuna companies.
Now you've got me started because you got a check. I didn't. Jim Walsh's wife got a check after she passed away. I did not get a check. I can be bought. Are you sure? I can be bought.
I feel like Heather got the check and it's just like, nothing to see here.
You think she's hiding my tuna money?
Could be. Well, she buys the groceries anyway. Where do you think it's going to go? I donated mine, my friend.
That's right. You did. Yeah. Live on this podcast. Will's bragging about it.
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. It was worth it. Anyway, that's what John Braun's up to next week. Tune in for Chapter 7 next week, in which he's, and another thing about Bob Ferguson.
Again, you're undercounting the
I hate the way he walks. I hate the way he talks. I hate the way he dresses. I hate that he plays chess.
You know, if you did a diss track like that, I thought you were quoting K-Dot there.
I was for a second.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics. It's probably for the best, because the next lyric's not great for a podcast.
All right. Next item, column from John McCroskey, titled, Searching for Life in Space, ? Why doesn't a mother's womb count? Is he implying he wants the government to explore women's bodies for proof of alien life?
I think he was just stating his opposition to abortion and comparing it to the search for life in the galaxy.
Is he concerned about impregnating anybody anytime soon?
I don't think so. He's just concerned about babies.
Stay the fuck out of it.
He's concerned about babies.
Personally, I'd be fine if the government stopped trying to have a say in either one.
Again, I've been out and ill-prepared.
Not sure what's going on in Mars, huh? Well, I'll tell you what's out there. Abortion.
I've got theories. Julie McDonald had a good column. Thank you, Frank Mason, for preserving Shayla's history.
I like that.
Frank Mason passed away at the age of 83, and she kind of did a tribute to his many projects around Chehalis, the Hotel Washington, the St. Helens Hotel. She talked about his vintage antique motorcycle museum, just a lot of cool things that he did to celebrate and support history. So I liked that one.
Do we have any exciting letters this week? I haven't even looked for letters.
I've been a little behind on letters. I've got a lot of them. I was kind of planning, and I haven't done it yet, so I don't want to commit. But I was hoping to do the rare double-facing full pages of letters tomorrow if I can pull it off.
There haven't been any new letters posted since the 21st. All right, we will skip those.
I've got to edit some. Brian Mitke had another hidden gem of Lewis County, Wallop Falls, to which the commenters were quite angry that, and this was a reader sent Brian Mitke a write-up, and he did like an intro and then let the reader complete the column, which is a really genius way to get your column in for that week.
Yeah.
And it was just describing how to get to it and why it is so great, and the commenters were very upset. Jesse Smith, a local photographer and content creator, influencer, potentially.
He certainly is.
He had a funny video with his photo in the background speaking over it today, mocking the people who were mad that we exposed this hidden gem.
Good for
It was
Jesse.
pretty good. And he let us run that photo, which I really appreciated, because it is such a hidden gem. We didn't have our own photo of it. And I just searched Jesse Smith Wallop Falls on Facebook, and sure enough, he went there in 2020.
He has been everywhere.
Yeah, he's out there. He had some cool wind turbine photos from Cinnabar, too, that were equally chided.
Yeah, people were upset about those. Anyway.
Kills birds, you see.
Yeah, there's piles of birds at the bottom of them. People forget that.
Obscures Mount Rainier. I did read an Oregonian story today that they're painting their windmill turbines, the blades, black now. Apparently that keeps... birds can see that better and are able to evade it a little more.
Do you think people would like windmills more if they made them like all rustic looking, like out of old like shingles, and they look like an old farm windmill?
Like a Don Quixote windmill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long before Jim Walsh was out there taking a swing at one of those?
It wouldn't be long, I don't think. Pretty quick, mid-construction.
Yeah. You want to talk about the roof doctor? How's your roof?
My roof's good. But, we've been doing this podcast now for 200 episodes, and I've been saying it's been great for, I don't know when Roof Doctor came on. I want to say like episode 30 or something. So I might need an estimate, and my only concern is I worry about how much that estimate's going to cost me in these trying times.
Brother, I got news for you. It's free.
Free?
Free estimates.
Oh, wow.
They've got a big button right on their website, which is theroofdoctor.com. Get a free estimate. You click on that button. Brings you up a little thing you fill out with your name and whatnot. And they will just come see you, take a look at your roof, being like, you know what? Could use a little work. And they'll give you an estimate right there. And if you would like that, maybe you just want to give them a call. 360-736-0246 or 360-499-0064. They got a lot of numbers. They got a lot of people who can help you out. They offer new roofing and re-roofing, roof repair, roof cleaning, and emergency roofing. Visit theroofdoctor.com to learn more. Do you have any People's Champion of the Week nominees? I have one.
You got to throw Frank Mason, I feel like, out there. We just talked about him, so I'd throw him out. I like yours, though.
Yeah, this was, we had some photos from this. Toro's Barbershop in Centralia got together their employees and some other barbers from the area to provide free haircuts to kids on Saturday at the Northwest Sports Hub in Centralia. Back to school thing. Kids could also get backpacks and school supplies. This is Alberto Isguera. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. Isguera's second year hosting the event, and it gives kids in the community school supplies and fresh cuts before school starts. They gave out about 100 haircuts, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, great event. And I think, you got to reward that by... They're right across from us. They're right here on North Pearl Street in the Lewis and Clark building.
Yeah, right down there.
You can see them from out back. And they also took donations. They split those between the Centralia and Chehalis School District.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Good morning, everyone. This is Brian Watson over at the Chronicle. I am with Kelly Erb. She's the store manager at Chehalis Outfitters. And we are here to talk about their parking lot sale going on now. So, Kelly, take it away. What do we got going on today?
Hey, Brian. Thanks for coming on over. We are out here in the front of our store in our main section. We have our parking lot sale going on. Out front here, you're going to find boots and clothing up to 80% off. And so we have some really great deals. If you've been to our parking lot sale before, you know how great these are, what kind of savings you can find and everything. It's all of our stuff that is like onesies or twosies that we had left over that we're clearing out to make more room for the new inventory coming in this fall and everything. Out in our garden center, we also have a lot of stuff that is marked down at huge savings from every department. Pretty much is represented out there, from the fishing supplies to hardware to nails. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. And you want to make sure you come by often because we are still putting out stuff every day. We have pallets that we're going through, and we just keep adding. So if you came by over the weekend or last week, make sure you stop back by soon because we keep adding more stuff. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lots going on. Come on down. I mean, there's tons of stuff out here. So hope to see you guys later. Take care.
All right, we're back, and now it is time for Sirens Banger of the Week. I don't have anything. Do you have anything?
Oh, for Sirens Banger of the Week? No, I really don't. We had, I was telling you, crime reporter, assistant editor Emily Fitzgerald just filed 3 crime stories that I plan to go put up on Cronline right after this, so they'll be available to read. And one of them was not a Sirens Banger of the Week, but a man was arrested in Centralia for giving acid and meth, I think it was meth, maybe fentanyl, to 2 juveniles who ended up hospitalized. And bail, I think, was set at $250,000 for this gentleman.
Good.
Yeah, good thing.
I mean, good that he was jailed, not that,
That they got high.
a crime occurred.
Yes, no, not great.
Facebook comments of the week. Boy. On the Morton fraud, this commenter says, in the 10 years I've lived in Lewis County, I'm shocked by how many women in trusted county or community positions have been caught in some sort of financial fraud. 6 or more off the top of my head. Crazy. Do you think he's implying that men get away with it?
No, I don't think
because
so.
We're
I shared
smarter,
this with you as a longtime crime reporter myself. I have always found, for whatever reason, violent crimes are mostly men. Like, that's just a fact. Almost always. And the embezzlement is a lot of time the ladies.
Interesting.
I don't know why that is.
Another commenter says, Miss Clevenger apparently wasn't very clever.
Got her.
Zing. On a post about Jelly Roll coming to Portland, this commenter said, did AI write this? What low-effort type of post is this?
It was an Oregonian thing, and if you will recall, Jelly Roll was once stopped at the Love's Travel Center here at Napavine and got a photo of him. It was very popular, and I was like, hey, I could rerun that photo with this news item.
I believe they call that karma farming.
No, I don't think that's what that is, but I could be wrong.
On a pic of the Billy Frank Jr. Wildlife Refuge, this commenter says, I bet the hunting is pretty good in there.
Also quite illegal.
Yes.
There's photos of baby deer in that. Man, who is this guy?
On the Dave Reichert Barn Bash. Sorry, not a barn bash. It was a ranch.
Rally at the ranch.
Rally at the ranch.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for asking.
Commenter says, the best the Washington GOP could do is in a barn. Smiley, crying face emoji, crying face emoji. I suppose it is fitting that people are sitting in horse shit as horse poop emoji as they listen to bull poop emoji. I think they're talking to you, Jim.
It's high-level discourse there in that comment.
And my favorite, on a post about Panda Express coming to town, these are always they just pile in the comments, and they're just exactly what you'd expect every time. And I am here for it.
One of them's absolutely right.
One commenter, not another chain restaurant. Ugh. Can we get a good home cooking from scratch, mom and pop's place? We have a few of those. Just go to them.
Yeah.
And then we get into right on. Now we need a Golden Corral.
Hell yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do need a Golden Corral. I'm willing to go to the R-Views, Matt, for this one. Golden Corral, bring it.
Next commenter, we need a quality steakhouse, like Black Angus Steakhouse. Like what?
We need a Golden Corral.
Taco time would be nice. Jesus Christ. Yes, I go all the way to Longview to eat Panda Express. Why?
They wouldn't do it if there was a Golden Corral here.
About time we get some new eateries here. Something besides burgers and fake Mexican food. Too bad it isn't Chipotle.
Or
Golden Corral.
Exactly.
God.
The people need a Golden Corral.
Yeah, I look around Lewis County and I think, what all these starving, thin people need? A buffet.
I won't let you insult the people of Lewis County or deprive them from an excellent, distinguished buffet.
Just give me a 5-gallon bucket full of processed mashed potatoes and gravy and a soft serve ice cream machine.
Oh, please.
Jesus Christ.
You've never been to a Golden Corral, have you?
Spaghetti enemas
You've
for everyone.
never been to a Golden Corral, have you?
I've been to Sizzler with Pete.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count. You haven't been to a Golden Corral. You don't know what it's like.
Is it a buffet?
If there was a Golden Corral resort, I'd be there. If there was like a Golden Corral Carnival cruise, See you later. I'm gone.
I think most cruises are just like a floating golden corral.
No.
It's just a buffet.
You're showing your ignorance here.
Never mind. Should go back to the family villa in Argentina. Schwartz. What's in the next edition?
As I've already told you, there's going to be a lot of crime in there because we updated that. And we'll have updates on the Morton embezzlement situation as well as the Fire District 6 firing situation. Let's see what else we're going to have here. I have lots of other stuff too. Those are the highs and lows of it, though. I don't want to commit to what we're going to have, not knowing for sure if it's going to come through. The Salvation Army had a back-to-school event. Kody went there and took some really nice photos. We're doing a roundup on heading back to school. Districts have already begun. Several started today. Oakville started last week. So we'll have some of that. And then lots of football previews and stuff. The sports guys have reactivated from their summer hibernation and have been putting together great stories on all sorts of local programs.
Yeah, that big old grizzly bear Zach rolled out of the office slim and trim and looking confused and ready to...
Yep, he went right to work.
Ready to jump in with the commenters and recommend a taco time. So with that, we bring our 200th episode to a close. We're sponsored by Summit Funding, Sheila's Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com. And for one last time,
how good of you to join us.
Welcome back, Bane.